The MotoGP paddock may still be in the middle of a new era, but one name is already stirring serious tension inside Yamaha's garage. Toprak Razgatlioglu. And if the whispers coming from his camp are anything to go by, the Turkish superstar could soon become one of the biggest threats to Marc Marquez in the coming seasons. For years, MotoGP has revolved around familiar figures battling at the very top. Yet behind the scenes, Yamaha appear to be quietly building something far bigger. A project not just for the present AG, but for the dramatic regulation reset arriving in 2027. And at the center of that project stands Razgatlioglu, a rider whose aggressive braking style, spectacular control, and fearless overtaking have already made him one of the most talked about talents to arrive from world superbikes in recent years. According to his longtime mentor and manager Kenan Sofuoglu, Razgatlioglu's immediate future in the MotoGP World Championship is expected to remain with Pramac Racing during the 2027 season. The Turkish rider has already signed a direct contract with Yamaha Motor Racing covering the 2026 and 2027 seasons. However, rather than placing him immediately in the factory squad, Yamaha chose to start his MotoGP career within the satellite structure of Pramac. This approach is far from unusual in modern MotoGP. Satellite teams often provide the perfect environment for new riders to adapt to the unique demands of the prototype machines, the Michelin tyres, and the intense competition at the pinnacle of motorcycle racing. Yet what makes Razgatlioglu's situation particularly intriguing is the uncertainty surrounding Yamaha's factory lineup beyond 2026. While Razgatlioglu is currently positioned within Pramac, the possibility of a promotion to the factory monster Energy Yamaha MotoGP team for 2027 remains open. Much of the MotoGP grid has not yet secured contracts for that season, leaving the rider market wide open. Yamaha could face significant changes within their current lineup, creating a potential opening at the very top of their project. Reports suggest that Fabio Quartararo may not remain with Yamaha long-term, while the future of Alex Rins with the team is also far from certain. If either seat becomes available, Razgatlioglu would naturally emerge as a strong candidate. His reputation as one of the most naturally gifted riders in modern motorcycle racing already precedes him, and Yamaha clearly believe he can play a crucial role in their long-term plans. However, Sofuoglu insists that, at least for now, stability remains the priority. He explained that their partnership with Pramac is functioning well, and that there is currently no urgent need to change the structure around Razgatlioglu. From a strategic perspective, remaining with Pramac may actually be the most sensible option for Razgatlioglu during the early phase of his MotoGP career. Satellite teams today operate at an extremely high level. In fact, Pramac have proven in recent years that they can fight consistently near the front of the grid thanks to strong technical support and competitive machinery. For Razgatlioglu, the environment offers something invaluable. Time. Time to adapt to MotoGP's braking characteristics, time to understand the electronics, and time to develop a riding style that suits prototype machinery rather than production-based superbikes. His spectacular late braking maneuvers, a trademark move in world superbikes, will need careful adjustment on a MotoGP bike. The tyres, carbon brakes, and aerodynamic load create a completely different balance. And Yamaha know that rushing a rider into the factory spotlight too early can sometimes do more harm than good. The real reason behind Yamaha's patience may lie in the major rule changes scheduled for 2027. MotoGP will enter a completely new technical era. Engine capacities will change, aerodynamics are expected to be reduced, and perhaps most significantly, the tyre supplier will switch from Michelin to Pirelli. This shift could dramatically alter the competitive balance across the grid. Teams that adapt quickly to the new regulations will gain a massive advantage in the early years of the new era. Yamaha appear determined to position Razgatlioglu as one of the central figures in that transformation. His background in World Superbikes, a championship already using Pirelli tyres, could become an unexpected advantage. While many MotoGP riders will need to adapt to the new rubber, Razgatlioglu will already possess years of experience managing Pirelli performance characteristics, grip behavior, and degradation patterns. That familiarity could prove incredibly valuable during the transition period. Looking ahead, the most fascinating question is how Razgatlioglu's arrival could reshape the balance of power in MotoGP. Marc Marquez remains one of the most formidable riders in the history of the sport. His ability to extract performance from any machine continues to set the benchmark across the grid. But Razgatlioglu brings something uniquely different. His riding style is spectacularly aggressive, relying heavily on extreme braking precision and front-end control. Traits that could translate extremely well to MotoGP machinery once fully refined. If Yamaha succeed in building a competitive bike for the 2027 regulation reset, Razgatlioglu could quickly emerge as a serious challenger to the sport's established stars. In that scenario, the MotoGP paddock might soon witness a brand new rivalry, one that pits the calculated brilliance of Marquez against the fearless intensity of the Turkish sensation. And if Yamaha's long-term project unfolds as planned, the biggest battles of the next MotoGP era may only just be beginning. Yamaha's internal strategy also suggests that the team are no longer thinking only about short-term podiums. Instead, they appear to be building a completely new competitive foundation for the upcoming regulations cycle. Bringing in a rider with a radically different riding style like Toprak Razgatlioglu is not simply a marketing move. It is a technical gamble designed to reshape how the bike is developed. Engineers within the Yamaha structure understand that the 2027 rule changes could erase many of the advantages currently enjoyed by rival manufacturers. If the aerodynamic influence is reduced and the engine capacity changes, rider feel and braking ability will once again become decisive factors. In that scenario, Razgatlioglu's instinctive control of the front end could suddenly become one of the most valuable assets on the grid. Another element that cannot be ignored is the psychological impact his arrival may have on the paddock. For years, MotoGP riders have been accustomed to a certain rhythm of competition. The presence of a rider coming directly from the World Superbike environment introduces unpredictability, something that even experienced champions must quickly adapt to.